Central Empire Wrestling presents Bridge City Slam 6, live Saturday, September 7th at the Bridgeview Center in Ottumwa. Come see Jake the Snake Roberts, Buff Bagwell, former WWE Tag Team Champions Demolition, Real One Enzo Amore, The Powers of Pain, The Boogeyman, Snitsky, Jordan Grace, Cameron Brene, and the stars of CEW. Tickets start at just $20 and include the Fan Fest from 4 to 7 p.m. Get your tickets through Ticketmaster or at the Bridgeview Center in Ottumwa. It's Bridge City Slam 6, live Saturday, September 7th at the Bridgeview Center in Ottumwa. Watch Pekin Panther football live right here this fall on Steve Shetler Media, Facebook, and YouTube with live announcers and an updated scoreboard, plus an area scoreboard to keep you updated on other schools of interest. It's Pekin Panther football live right here on Steve Shetler Media starting Friday, August 30th. New Life Fellowship in Keswick, Iowa is hosting the Victorious Living Conference Friday, August 23rd through Sunday, August 25th, with guest pastors Luke and Jana Hobbs from Tennessee. You're invited to make plans to join New Life Fellowship in Keswick for this dynamic time of anointed worship, teaching, and ministry. New Life Fellowship is located just south of Keswick on Highway 22. The conference schedule is Friday, August 23rd at 7 p.m., Saturday, August 24th at 6 p.m., and Sunday, August 25th at 6 p.m. We hope to see you for the Victorious Living Conference. And welcome in. It is time for the sports section. We are live here from Brothers Market in beautiful downtown Sigourney, Iowa. And yeah, we've got a whole host of people on screen and waiting in the wings here. We've got our special guest host this morning, Andy McGuire, all the way from Keota, Iowa. Andy, what's up? What do we got going on today?
Good morning, Steve. Thanks for having me. For you watching, don't adjust your dial. I'm not Mitch Eslick, nor am I Bruce or Alan. So yes, I am here in Keota. Or Jenny Hobbs or Eddie Conrad. So, yeah, I'm excited to be here, Steve. We have Jerry, Mike, and Kimmy. We're going to talk about pickleball. And we also have Jenny and a couple of athletes from the Keota Eagles volleyball team. So that's what's coming up this morning.
All right, so stay tuned for that. Let's take a look at this information from Brothers Market. As you can see, savings are made simple. You can go to shopbrothersmarket.com. They've got digital coupons. You can earn rewards. They've got the deal of the week and shopping deals. Make sure you download that app as well. Get the app. It's a smart way to shop. Take advantage of all of those deals and all that information. ShopBrothersMarket.com and also the Brothers Market app. Let's take it back to Andy McGuire. Andy and his guests right now going to be talking about pickleball. Go right ahead, Andy.
Yeah, absolutely. We're excited to talk pickleball. We're here with the ball mason jar section. We're not going to be canning pickles, but we're going to be talking pickles. So we'll start with Jerry. Jerry, what can you tell us about pickleball? How did you get started in it?
A couple of years ago, Jody Miller got us started down in Florida, and we just fell in love with the game, and Emily and I have been playing ever since.
Excellent, excellent. How about Mike and Kimmy? How did you guys get in the game?
We're actually just lucky enough to live right out by the pickleball courts. I don't think up until about 2 years ago when we moved here, hadn't played. Was it last year we started playing? Yep. We kind of picked it up just last year. I think we didn't play the first year we moved here, but yeah, so they're pretty much right across the street, and we just decided let's take it on, see what this is about.
Yeah, it's really a great game. I know it's gained a lot of popularities over recent years. Why is the game so popular?
Anybody can play it. The other night when we were playing, we had the youngest ones were around 15 or 16 years old on up to 68-year-old. And
competitive, or is it just kind of a laid-back game, or what do you see out there on that pickleball court?
Yeah, I think it can definitely go both ways. It just depends on what you're looking for that day. And it depends on what kind of mood you're in. There are times when Kimmy's throwing her paddle at me, so it's gotten a little competitive from time to time. But there are also times out there where, somebody new is joining us for the first time, and we'd like him to come back. So we're, maybe easing him into the game, but it really doesn't take long. I would say, like Kimmy said, we just started playing last year, and with the pickleball courts being so close to our home, when we first moved in, I bought a set of paddles for our whole family, and Kimmy basically never wanted to go. And then we went one time where we played with a group, and she was basically hooked. And even though she hasn't played a lot of paddle sports in her life, I think she became one of our better players probably within a few months. It really is easy to pick up.
Yeah, that's great. And it sounds like it's pretty inexpensive to get into. What's it cost to get, a set of paddles or a ball, or what does it take to get into the sport if you don't know?
You can go any range you want. I got a $29 paddle, and I know there's some people out there that play with a $200 paddle. The balls are, very inexpensive, and they last a long time. So, you can go any range in between there that you want.
Oh, very good, very good. So for those that don't understand the game, how does it differ from tennis? The tennis court's a lot bigger. You play with generally 4 people. Do you ever play with 2 people at pickleball?
Mike and I, just because we do live so close, we get a lot of practice and go out at other times. There are kind of more set times that people play pickleball here in Sigourney, and we might get into that. But him and I play one-on-one a lot, but most of the time it is 2-on-2. I don't know a lot about tennis. I think Mike knows a lot more about racket sports than I do, so maybe he can kind of tell you a little bit more the differences from pickleball to tennis.
Sure. So the main difference is it's mostly a net game. So it has some parallels to the doubles tennis game. Most people play doubles. Singles is a lot more running, and most people looking for pickleball aren't necessarily looking to run all day. They're looking for a fun game where they can just go out there and hit the ball around. And that's really what the doubles game is. At some point, most people usually end up coming up to the net, and you're just kind of hitting it back and forth, trying to find that spot that puts the other person off guard. So it's a kind of a serve and volley type game if you were to play. If you have a tennis background, that's more what the game is.
Gotcha. So how is it scored, Mike? Is it 15, 30, 40 love, that sort of thing? Or
Yeah, no, it's much more simple. It is, so you can only score on your serve. So if you serve and you end up winning that point, you get a point. And so if the first person on your team is serving or if it's the second server.
Oh, very good. So we'll go to Jerry on this question. How do you guys have any leagues? Is it an organized sport, or is it just for recreation, just for fun?
Right now, it's just for fun around here, except for on the 4th of July. Mike and Kimmy put on a tournament and had 26 teams, I believe, to raise money for the upkeep of the pickleball courts. But we get together on Mondays and Thursday evenings. Those are pretty much set times. And then, like, we've got a group that we play with on Tuesday mornings at 7 and at Thursday morning at 7. And otherwise, we've just got a list of people that you can either call or text if you want to play. And if you need a fourth person, just put that out there, and Kathleen O'Rourke or somebody will get back to you, because she'll play every day of the week, whatever time you call her.
Oh, that's wonderful. So do you guys have folks from out of town come in and play with you, or is it typically just folks around Sigourney?
Last year, there were a lot of people from Keota area that came over, and they usually don't start coming back over here until after the ball season, so we're starting to see them, trickle back in now, now that softball and baseball are over with. But predominantly Sigourney area.
Yeah, very good. And Jerry, you mentioned the courts. How long have the pickleball courts been down at the park? It's something that's relatively new. Did they convert the tennis court, or how's that come to be?
It used to be tennis courts, and then after Randy Miller passed away, Jody took it upon herself to change the courts over from the tennis courts, which weren't used very often, to pickleball. And it gets used, I would say, every day that's not raining. It gets used out there.
That's just one more awesome amenity, for Sigourney's Park. There's so many cool things to do in Sigourney that I think a lot of folks don't realize are available to them. So, shout out to the pickleball groups, allowing others to come in and join in that fun. And, thinking about, the various sports that I've played in, is there something you guys do to get yourself ready for a game, a match, whatever you call it? Maybe help me out with that. What do you call it? Is it a match? Is it a game? Is it a series?
I have no idea. We just get there and play. Not too worried about what it's called. No, we just play so casually. We get together, whoever's there, we just make up a team, try to keep it fairly even and jump in there. So not a lot of stretching, not a lot of calisthenics, but we haven't had anybody with major injuries yet on the pickleball court, so I think we're doing all right. Like I say, it's such an easy game. You can get in there, just go in and play. To me, it's like playing table tennis, but you're standing on the table. So it's pretty straightforward, pretty simple.
Mike and Kimmy are in a lot better shape than some of us, so they don't have to work as hard as I do at it. But it'll definitely get your heart rate up if you want to work at it that hard.
Yeah, that's awesome. So back to that warm-up thing. This is kind of an off-the-wall question for you guys, but if you were to pick one song to listen to get you going on this pickleball court, what would that one song be? I'm gonna start with Kimmy on this one because Kimmy's been too quiet over here.
Oh boy. Putting me on the spot. Let's see.
Sweet Home Alabama.
Oh, Sweet Home Alabama's coming from Jerry. That's a good one. That's a good
right
one.
after it.
Yeah.
I don't know why big balls jumped into my head, but that's what came up. So there you go. I guess that's my pickleball anthem from now on.
First thing that comes to Mike's mind is big balls.
I'm going to go This Girl's on Fire. That's what popped in my head right away.
all
You'd
right.
think being a DJ I'd be able to pop something off a little quicker than that, but there's a little bit too much going on.
Well, that's interesting. I did not know that, Kimmy. You're a DJ too.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. Is that a side gig, or how do you get into the DJ bit?
Yeah, I used to, when I was a prior teacher in Sigourney, I used to also bartend at the Sundown Bar and Grill in Williamsburg. And Johnny O was the owner at that time, and he had the equipment, and he knew I loved singing karaoke. So he's like, "You want to run some karaoke?" And I said, "Heck yeah, let's do it." So I ran some karaoke while I actually worked for him, and then people kind of started asking me, like, "Hey, do you DJ outside of here?" So I took his equipment for a wedding one time, and then after that, I just decided to do it on my own. So I've been doing that for about 12 or 13 years now, so mostly weddings.
Interesting fun fact about Kimmy Hernandez. Mike, Jared, do you guys have any hidden talents you want to talk about?
I'm retired.
That sounds dangerous. I don't think he can talk about that either for security reasons or for confidentiality reasons.
Just
Speechless.
I put him on the spot. Yeah, I had to give
No
you that
talents he
point
can
one way or
talk
another.
about, yeah.
Mark that down,
He's gotta
Steve. I
keep
got
this.
Jerry Wooler speechless, the auctioneer.
Hey, I was going to ask. Now, of course, Kimmy and Mike, we live in the same neighborhood, and I take my dogs out, and I hear the ball being hit around on the pickleball court. If someone new, brand new, would want to get involved, I mean, is it intimidating for someone new to get on the court? Is someone going to eat the pickleball when they get smacked right back at them by somebody more experienced? Or, how does a newbie get involved? Tell us that.
I think for the most part, I think we're pretty nice to our newbies. We want people to come back, like Mike said. I'm not throwing paddles at new people. Most of the time, or I should say all of the time, it's only Mike I throw the paddle at. And that's usually one-on-one when no one else is there. So thank God there are not cameras out of the pickleball courts. But yeah, we love new people coming in. We actually last week had a new person come in, and so she had a little bit of a learning curve. I think she had a little bit of a frustration, but once she played 2, 3, 4 games, I think she was having some fun with it, and I'm hoping that we'll see her back. So
Awesome. You got anything else, Andy?
I think we've got it. Thanks, guys, for being here on a Saturday morning to talk pickleball.
All right.
Thanks for having us.
Our pickleball folks here on Steve Schoettler Media on the sports section. While we're in between guests, you guys can take off. We got Keota Volleyball coming in. Let's take a look at our Athlete of the Year tournament. Now, Andy, pick up that belt. We'll get to you live here in just a second. Go ahead, guys. We're showing right now our Athlete of the Year tournament matchup that is going on. Or actually, it's going to start up tomorrow. Voting will start tomorrow for this match at 5 p.m., and that will be involving English Valley's Kennedy Axmere, who was voted Athlete of the Week back in September of last fall, and then we'll be having her go against Cardinal Track's Addison Adam, who was the Athlete of the Week in April of this year. Now, of course, you see that championship belt. Andy,